Hi friends, it's Alyssa, and we have just wrapped up our month of haunted attractions here on the Pillow Fright podcast with House of Wax. Along the way, we also discussed Haunt, the Funhouse, and Hellfest. But there are so many other great haunted attraction movies out there that are worth watching, so here are 10 more of them. House LLC. House LLC is a documentary-style film that chronicles a team of haunted house creators as they prepare for their 2009 launch of their popular attraction, Hell House. On opening night, tragedy unfolds when an unexpected malfunction results in the deaths of 15 visitors and staff members. The film explores the events leading up to the catastrophe and uncovers the truth behind what went wrong that night. House LLC is one of the few movies that I have seen in recent years that actually really got to me. The atmosphere is creepy. There are some truly scary moments in it, including some very effective jump scares. You can find this one streaming on Shudder and Tubi. Tourist Trap. Tourist Trap centers around a group of friends who come across a roadside museum operated by a reclusive eccentric. However, their visit takes a deadly turn when an unseen killer with psychokinetic abilities starts picking them off one by one. Okay, I love Tourist Trap. It is a weird little movie that has absolutely no right to be as good as it actually is. It's unique, it's unnerving. This one is widely available to watch. You can watch it on Shudder, Tubi, Pluto TV, Prime, Peacock. Take your pick. Waxwork. Waxwork involves a group of college students who are invited by a mysterious man to a special midnight showing of a new wax museum. As they explore the exhibits, the scenes unexpectedly come to life, pulling each of them into the horrifying stories being depicted in front of their eyes. Waxwork is a really fun one, and it stars some pretty big names at the time, including Gremlin's darling Zach Galligan, 80s icon Deborah Foreman, and the late, great David Warner. I personally think it's an underrated gem that is definitely worth watching, and you can find this one on Plex and Freevee if you have those. The Houses October Built. The Houses October Built is a found-footage film that follows a group of friends on a road trip the week before Halloween in search of the most extreme haunted attractions. Along their trek, they interview haunted house workers and visitors to expose the lack of regulations in the industry. However, not everyone they encounter is pleased with their curiosity, and as strange encounters start to unfold, their friends begin to wonder if it's all part of the haunted experience or if their lives are actually in danger. I liked watching this movie from a character point of view because the haunts and the characters really did feel authentic, and it is a very terrifying portrayal of the thought that I often thought of whenever I was scare acting or even just as a guest in a haunt of, what if this was really happening? You can find this one on Shudder or Hoopla, which is my favorite little hack to stream movies for free if you have a library card. So friends, grab yourself a library card, read some books, watch some movies. The Funhouse Massacre. The Funhouse Massacre is a horror comedy that follows 6 of the world's most dangerous psychopaths who have just escaped from a nearby asylum and, unbeknownst to a group of young adults out to have a good time, have set up shop inside a Halloween funhouse themed with mazes inspired by their various reigns of terror. The Funhouse Massacre is another installment of the what if this was really happening angle in the catalog of haunted attraction movies, and it stars some pretty familiar names in the genre such as Robert Englund, Courtney Gaines, and our boy, Clint Howard. You can find this one on Prime, Peacock, and Tubi. Carnival of Souls. Carnival of Souls tells the story of Mary Henry, who ends up the sole survivor of a fatal car accident through mysterious circumstances. Trying to put the incident behind her, she relocates and takes a job as a church organist. However, her fresh start is soon interrupted by visions of a strange man, as she becomes more and more drawn to a nearby abandoned carnival. Carnival of Souls is a true classic for a reason. Aside from the now famous twist ending, the acting is pretty strong. There's some really surreal imagery in this movie, and it just all around feels like a lost episode of The Twilight Zone, which I totally dig. You can find this one streaming on most platforms, so pick your poison and you are probably covered. The Devils Carnival. The Devils Carnival is a horror musical set in a twisted version of hell known as The Devils Carnival. The story follows 3 sinners who each die and find themselves in a bizarre afterlife. As they navigate the carnival's sinister attractions, they encounter temptations and confrontations, each reliving their sins through allegorical stories inspired by Aesop's fables. The Devil's Carnival is directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, and it is written by Terrence Zdunich? I am so sorry for the mispronunciation if I did. They are the duo behind another horror movie musical, Repo the Genetic Opera. If you know me, you know my three true loves in life are horror, music, and musical theater. And this one obviously encaptures all three. So just by default, I really dig it. This is a dirty little film that has some really beautiful imagery, and you can find it on Pluto TV. Scary Movie. Not to be confused with 2000's Scary Movie, this 1991 Scary Movie involves Warren, a paranoid teenage nerd who starts to believe an escaped lunatic may be hiding in the local House of Horrors, and slowly begins to descend into madness. Okay, full disclosure, I have not seen this movie yet. It was just recently brought to my attention by Miss Amelia when we were discussing potential haunted attraction movies to watch this month. But I can absolutely see why this is on the list. Also, any day that I get to discover new horror is a great day in my book, and I can wager that you might not have had this on your radar either. So it is a great time to check it out, which you can on Tubi. Dark Ride. Dark Ride is about a group of friends on a road trip deciding to visit an amusement park attraction called Dark Ride, unaware that a deranged killer who brutally murdered 2 teenage girls 10 years prior has recently escaped from a mental institution and is now hiding inside the house. I sense a common group of friends go on a road trip theme amongst many of these movies on this list. This one stars Jamie Lynn Sigler and The Sandlot's very own Patrick Reina, and you can find this on Prime or Tubi. Tubi is winning here. Something Wicked This Way Comes. Set in a small Midwestern town, Something Wicked This Way Comes follows young boys Will and Jim, who encounter a mysterious carnival that arrives in town one fateful night. Led by Mr. Dark, the carnival's sinister nature soon reveals itself as he preys on the town's deepest fears and desires. As Will and Jim uncover the dark secrets behind the carnival, they must confront their own fears and work together to save their town from its sinister grasp. Something Wicked This Way Comes explores themes of childhood innocence, the struggle against temptation, and the battle between good and evil. And also, I highly suggest reading this book. It is a short but fascinating read. I love it. Don't quote me on this one, but at the time of this recording, I believe you can find it only on Apple TV if you have it. So there you have it. 10 more haunted attraction movies for you to check out during this Halloween season. So let us know what you think. Have you seen any of these movies? Do you want to see any of these movies? Are there any that I did not mention that you can mention down in the comments? Because we would love that. We will be starting a new theme next Thursday, October 10th. But until then, sweet screams, everyone.